holy crap, my footprint just increased by, I went from being like a little mouse walking around the earth to like gong, gong.
Everybody drives their big gas guzzling cars, and so living green is just not really taken Houston by storm.
I am dedicated by God to getting this glass recycled.
So similarly to you, Heather,
go to the store less frequently, but we buy more stuff.
Hey, it's Heather from Juice.com. And since Earth Day is coming up, I thought we could talk about being green. We try to be pretty green. We recycle pretty much everything. In fact, our recycling bin is taken out probably 5 times a week, where our trash bin is taken out maybe once a week. And our daughter knows the difference between recycling and throwing away. The gum wrapper goes into the recycling bin, whereas the gum itself goes into the trash.
We're talking about green. Wish I had a green top. This is actually an interesting question for us because a big reason why we moved was realizing the environmental impact of owning a home. And I don't know if it would have occurred to us so much if we hadn't already lived in an apartment for so long, but it's kind of amazing once you've lived in an apartment and you have that sort of compact living, when you go to a house and you realize, holy crap, my footprint just increased by, I went from being like a little mouse walking around the earth to like gong, gong. That's not gong.
I'm all about the green. It's tougher, I think, here in Houston than it is in a lot of other places. Primarily because Houston is an oil town. Like, everything about Houston is all about the oil. And everybody drives their big gas guzzling cars. And so living green is just not really taken Houston by storm too much.
The thing that I think impedes most people from going green is it can be really, really expensive. And I've always said this to people. I think the most important thing in terms of getting everyone to think more about the environment is to make it affordable for them to do so. Buying organic free-range chicken can be extraordinarily expensive, and when you're on a really tight budget, especially in this economy, and you're looking at a package of chicken that costs $4 versus one that costs $12, you're like, screw the environment, I just want to feed my kids.
Similarly to you, Heather, we eat organic. We try to buy only organic foods as much as possible. I was looking for the most fuel-efficient car I could afford. Sadly, I could not afford a hybrid, even a second-hand one. But what I did afford was a Toyota Yaris, and it's not a hybrid, but it's got great mileage. It gets like 39 to 40 miles to the gallon on the highway, which is very, very cool.
We are in the process of selling our car, and that was a discussion with Henry that he was just like, what? That's crazy. We need a car to get places. And we were like, no, you know what? We don't need a car now because we live in the city and we have public transportation and we can rent a car if we really need to go on a trip. And it's a huge impact on the environment to own a car, so we would rather not do that.
Really, it's our children's generation, and we're putting a lot of pressure on them, but it's our children's generation that's gonna like really get this kick started and kick it in the butt, and so I really want her to be a part of that movement.
I think for me, the environmental consciousness that has overtaken my family has been kind of a gradual thing. It wasn't like one day we were like, wait a minute, we are using far too much cardboard for the environment. You listen to the news and hear things about landfills and you realize like, oh, this isn't recyclable, and oh crap, and you sort of realize how much you're throwing out every week. And I think especially when you have a family, you kind of are more aware of it because you consume more and you throw out more.
I really don't want to sound preachy because I am not really great about being green. There's so much I could do. Like, for example, they don't do pickup of glass recycling in our neighborhood.
You have to be really dedicated to the cause of recycling glass because you have to put it in a bin and collect it, and then when you have enough, you have to actually drive your car and put CO2 into the air and take it to a bin, I am dedicated by God to getting this glass recycled. It also sort of emphasizes, you watch the glass collect throughout the month and you're like, holy crap, we drink a lot of beer. Not now, of course. No beer for the baby.
The one thing we feel really guilty about is seltzer. We are such freaking New Yorkers that we just love our seltzer. But you would go through so many bottles every week. It's really bad, like how much plastic drinking seltzer involves.
Or maybe you're one of those people who doesn't believe in going green, like my mom, who doesn't believe in this whole global warming thing. And even if you don't believe in global warming, don't you believe in like not being wasteful?
The conversation is happening now at Momversation.com.